Teachers are concerned about plans to teach young children about sex. The SAOU Teachers Union is questioning the inclusion of sex education from as early as grade 4. The Basic Education Department is, however, overhauling the life skills curriculum for this grade. And this union's CEO, Chris joins me now, of course, to talk more about this issue. Chris, thank you so much for your time. Let's get into exactly what your concerns are about the comprehensive sexuality education this introduced by the Department of Education.
We are fully aware of the realities that children are molested, that they are sexually exploited, and we are aware of the fact that schools have a role to play in this regard, to teach children and strengthen their knowledge and protect them against any of these abuses. But the scripted lesson plans go much further than just to inform children about the dangers of molestation and sexual abuse. In fact, it actually promotes a particular sexual lifestyle, and we have a serious problem with that. We think it may be in conflict with some of the norms and standards and values of communities, and we believe that communities and parents must have a choice in this regard, and it can't be a one-size-fits-all approach for all schools and all learners.
Now, you say that it promotes, young children having sort of a keen interest in, sexual interaction. It kind of teaches them how to be sexually active. How do you think it does that?
Well, let's say one of the lessons is that a teacher has to explain to or describe to children, what the effects of sex, vaginal sex would be, what anal sex would be, what masturbation would be, and we think that teachers would be extremely uncomfortable teaching that because many of the teachers will not even have any experience of some of that. And that is something that I think that parents have a right to say, may my children be exposed to that or not? And as I indicated to you in the beginning, we are fully aware of the realities of what takes place outside in terms of social media. But at the end of the day, a parent has a particular choice and a teacher has a choice, especially if the learning content is against their values and their norms.
Yeah. And earlier on, Chris, you make mention of, sexual abuses that young children in this country, which is a reality, are exposed to. But also some of the facts that we see here, statistics show that, according to Stats SA, at least in their recent report, it shows that 11% of the births that occur were in 2018 were of adolescents between age 10 and 19. Recently, I'm sure you've seen in the media, a 17-year-old girl who got into labor while she was in the middle of her exams. HIV infections, Chris, are estimated 2,000 weekly, this amongst girls between 15 and 24. Now, how do you best advise or think that government can intervene as far as sexual education is concerned to curb these numbers that we've just seen here?
Well, you are absolutely correct. Those statistics are serious, and it's something that needs to be addressed. But we believe that there are other ways and means of doing it than through this explicit sexuality education that the Education Department is embarking now on the insistence of UNESCO. We are also aware of the fact that they did a survey in KZN, and that learners as well as teachers indicated their discomfort with the learning content. So at the end of the day, as I indicated, there are ways and means of addressing it, but by promoting promiscuity is not the way to go ahead.
Have you consulted with the Department of Basic Education? Because at this point it's reported that this curriculum has received ministerial approval. Have you engaged with them whatsoever? Yes,
we have. We engaged with them on numerous occasions in this regard, and we said to them, we are hearing these rumors coming out of the media, out of the religious community, and we'd like to speak to you about it. They showed us some of these scripted lesson plans, and those lesson plans were meek and mild, and we said, okay, this is something to consider. But they gave us the undertaking that before they would embark on a process of implementation, they would consult with teachers, with parents, with school governing body organizations, and also the religious community. That hasn't happened now. And we are taken aback by it, and we feel affronted by it. And we think that if they want to implement a particular curriculum, it is something that should be the topic of consultation and discussion to make sure that everybody is on board and that everybody takes ownership.
All right. Mr. Chris, CEO of the South African Teachers Union, thank you so much for your time.